Bugha and Avivv have been a formidable duo since forming. However, they have turned things up a level in this new season. They won their first ever Duo Cash Cup since formation and Bugha's first Duo Cash Cup win of this entire chapter. In today's video, we're going to break down what they did in the early game, mid game, and end game, which allowed them to secure their first victory and allow them to have a ton of confidence going into global championships. Bugha and Avivv are landing at the new POI Doom's Court, and this allows them, when they're uncontested, to have control of a possible 20 chest bonds with 2 Doom crates. This is a significant amount of loot for a duo, and Avivv typically lands on the north sides and loots that area, and Bugha loots the south. They eventually are going to aggregate all of their heals for Storm Surge once they've looted the entire POI. This POI doesn't have a ton of metal, however, Avivv is going to get a good amount just by simply farming this massive Doom statue, which gets him about 350 before they decide to rotate out. After they rotate out, they're going to play for an aggressive refresh, but do it very smartly. Avivv and Bugha realize that two teams are fighting here for the vault, so they decide to crouch and not give up any visuals. When they decide to attack, Bugha is going to have pre-edits ready, and they're both going to quickly double swing on the wall, eventually claiming it, and Avivv is going to pick up a nice elimination here, get some body on the damage, as Bugha is then going to bully off that opponent's teammate, so then Avivv can then claim the body and make sure that they get as much surge as possible, as well as all the loot, and because of this now, Bugha also maxes out all of his metal. It is now the mid game, and take a look at what Bugha and Avivv do. Since the only rotation now is Flowberry Fizz, they're going to maximize it by boxing up right on this Nitro ring, and they also are granted free Storm Surge and another elimination, as Avivv third parties a fight at distance and picks up a free elimination. Once the zone pops, they immediately pop this Flowberry Fizz and use the Nitro Ring to cover a ton of distance, and they box up right on edge here so they can continue to get Storm Surge tags. They're going to once again repeat this rotation, but take a look how well they invest their Flowberry Fizz. Once they realize that the zone is far, both Bugha and Avivv at the same time pop Fizz separately so they can continue to cut as much distance as fast as possible, and eventually when they get right to a Nitro Ring, they realize that another team is there, but Avivv smartly blocks them off by first pressuring, placing some walls, and then Bugha then pops the Fizz for them so they can rotate and get very deep into zone early, which is going to maximize their opportunity for Storm Surge as well as refreshes. Take a look at how this positioning is paid off. They are the second deepest team in zone, with only one team being south. This is also going to pay off as they are now going to go on the uncongested side, as that team uses the launch pad in front of them to rotate, and Bugha and Avivv, once they see them leave, they just simply tank Storm here, using the Flowberry Fizz to maximize this pad. They end up eating some damage, getting right on top of Brutal. However, they're going to very smartly take advantage of the fact that Poyo wasn't covering his head here. They do some damage to rotate in. Unfortunately though, Bugha does end up eating a massive shot, but at least now they're completely on uncongested side. As you can see on the map, 99% of the teams are stuck on the far right, with Bugha and Avivv being the southernmost team, which gives them the most amount of flexibility for rotation, since they are also on top of a large structure, which allows them to maximize their Flowberry Fizz if need be in the next rotation. Their use of all of the environmental advantages as well as their positioning is really going to pay off with this next pull. They were already the southernmost team, so they get an instant easy rotation into dead side, which requires Bugha to not even have to cover his back the entire time. Avivv is going to do a good job here of getting some damage onto height favorite teams in Poyo and Peterbot, and as other teams rotate in just in front of them, he's going to get an easy elimination here onto TK without having to even close the distance here. And due to their positioning, they are set up great for the endgame, since they don't even need to block their back, since they control all of the space on that side. As previously mentioned, that damage to Peterbot and Poyo is going to be huge, because after this pull, Bugha realizes that they essentially have high ground for free. Bugha is then going to tarp ahead as Avivv looks to sit back and pressure, and as Bugha connects to front side, Avivv simply connects to him on the back, thus reinforcing their high ground. Avivv simply stands and pressures on most opponents while Bugha leads the tarps, and they end up getting a pretty decent pull in the next moving zones, but they only truly end up getting challenged once and getting chopped out. But they had saved so many materials, they're easily able to hold on to it as Avivv once again pressures the second height team in Peterbot and Pollo, thus allowing them to keep the high ground with ease. Once again, after staying on the high ground after the first challenge, they are once again challenged when the zone, fortunately for them, pulls back on top of Brutal Beachhead. Avivv is going to do a great job of shutting down this late high take by Peterbot and Pollo, realizing that they're splashing and trying to take it late, but he gets a significant amount of damage onto Peterbot, forcing them to stay down, and then he tracks perfectly where they are underneath, hitting a white tag, thus causing him to play aggressive. He takes the top here and essentially one pumps Peterbot, which is going to give him a massive advantage of now having the scan coin and the mythic AUG. Avivv is going to immediately then go to work after he picks up an elimination with a shotgun, picking up another elimination with his AR here onto Death, picking up another elimination onto Skittles here, who had no materials, and then getting another free elimination with his AR on a down body by a team that had already been eliminated. It's now essentially a 2v1, and Bugha and Avivv have a significant amount of materials and health in comparison to everyone else in the lobby. They decide to drop down and play aggressive as they have the scan coin, so Avivv is able to easily track his opponent, picking up this elimination, and right as he does that, Bugha is going to get a free elimination onto Pollo, who doesn't have any materials left, notching his first elimination of the entire game, and they easily secure this victory royale with an easy high take and conservation of mats. Bugha and Avivv in this VOD review showed the importance of using the environment to allow you to save your materials as well as position yourself well in zones. They had so many materials, they were able to easily hold high ground without expending too much, and then use the fact that it pulled back on top of a structure to maintain height easily. Avivv did a great job of picking up a ton of eliminations late on the high ground, and Bugha did a great job of leading them and allowing them to contain a ton of space and freedom throughout, which made it a very easy victory royale for them. Well guys, I hope that you enjoyed today's VOD review. If you did, please drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on post notifications, and I hope I'll be seeing you in the next one. Peace.